Poor Things is a 2023 film made directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and written by Tony McNamara, based on the 1992 novel by Alastair Gray. A co-production between Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the United States, the film stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Ramy Youssef, Christopher Abbott, and Jared Carmichael. 6. It follows Bella Baxter, Stone, a young woman in Victorian London whose body is reanimated by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist Dr. Godwin Baxter, Dafoe. Principal photography took place in Hungary from August to December 2021. Poor Things premiered at the 80th Venice International Film Festival on September 1, 2023, where it won the Golden Lion. The film received critical acclaim, with praise for Lanthimos' direction, the screenplay, and performances, particularly Stone and Ruffalo. It was released theatrically in the United States on December 8, 2023, and in Ireland and the United Kingdom on January 12, 2024, by Searchlight Pictures. It became a box office success, grossing over $117 million worldwide on a budget of $35 million, becoming Lanthimos' highest-grossing film. 7. Poor Things was named one of the top 10 films of 2023 by the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute, and received various accolades, including 4 wins at the 96th Academy Awards, 2 at the 81st Golden Globe Awards, and 5 at the 77th British Academy Film Awards. Stone won Best Actress at each ceremony. Plot. In a retro-futurist alternative late Victorian London, 1882, the medical student Max McCandles is recruited by the mad scientist Godwin Baxter to record the behavior of a strange, nearly mute woman living in Godwin's house. Godwin reveals that her body is that of a pregnant woman who died by suicide by leaping off Tower Bridge. Godwin replaced the woman's brain with that of the fetus, giving her an infant's mind. He gave her the name Bella Baxter. As weeks pass, Bella's vocabulary improves and she exhibits childlike wonder at the world. With Godwin's encouragement, Max falls in love with Bella and proposes marriage. Bella accepts, but soon discovers masturbation and sexual pleasure, leading her to run off with Duncan Wedderburn, a debauched lawyer, to Lisbon. There, they have near constant intercourse because Bella has no understanding of anything beyond physical pleasure. A fellow hotel guest addresses her as Victoria Blessington. As Bella becomes difficult for Duncan to control, he smuggles her onto a cruise ship, where she befriends 2 passengers who open her mind to philosophy. Duncan attempts to further stunt her growth to no avail, and indulges in drinking and gambling. During a stop at Alexandria, Bella witnesses the suffering of the poor and becomes distraught. Wishing to help them, she entrusts Duncan's winnings to unscrupulous members of the crew, who falsely promise to give the money to the poor. Unable to afford the rest of the trip, Bella and Duncan are dropped off at Marseille and make their way to Paris, penniless. Seeking money and accommodation, Bella begins working at a brothel. Enraged, Duncan breaks down, and Bella abandons him. At the brothel, she comes under the tutelage of Madame Swinney and begins a relationship with fellow prostitute Toinette, who introduces her to socialism. Now terminally ill, Godwin asks Max to bring Bella to him. Max finds her after tracking down Duncan, who has been institutionalized. Back in London, Bella reconciles with Godwin and renews her plans to marry Max, but their wedding is interrupted by Duncan and General Alfie Blessington. Alfie, addressing Bella as Victoria, declares that they were married before her disappearance and that he has come to reclaim her. Bella leaves Max to learn of her past life, but is exposed to Alfie's violent and sadistic nature. Bella partially realizes that she was Victoria, and that she killed herself to escape Alfie. Alfie then confines Bella to his mansion and tells her that he plans to have her clitoris removed and impregnate her, threatening her with a gun and demanding she drink a sedative. She tosses the sedative in his face. Alfie accidentally shoots himself in the foot and passes out. Bella returns to Godwin's house and, with Max's help, transplants a goat's brain into Alfie's head. Godwin dies peacefully with Bella and Max at his side. Bella, Max, and Toinette begin a new life in Godwin's house, while Alfie happily eats grass. Cast: Emma Stone as Bella Baxter / Victoria Blessington, Mark Ruffalo as Duncan Wedderburn, Willem Dafoe as Dr. Godwin Baxter, Ramy Youssef as Max McCandles, Christopher Abbott as Alfie Blessington, Susie Bimba as Toinette, Jared Carmichael as Harry Astley, Catherine Hunter as Madame Swinney, Vicky Pepperdine as Mrs. Prim, Margaret Qualley as Felicity, Hannah Skagula as Martha von Kurtzrock, Keely Forsyth as Allison the maid, John Locke as David the butler, Kate Hanford as Kitty, Owen Good as Gerald, Damien Bonnar as father, Tom Sturton as steward, Raphael Thierry as Siva the butcher, Wayne Brett as priest, Carmen Ho as Fathu singing woman, Jerskin Fendrix as Lisbon restaurant musician. Production, development, director and co-producer Yorgos Lanthimos. Produced by Film 4 Productions, Element Pictures, and Searchlight Pictures. Development on the film began as early as 2009, when Lanthimos went to Scotland to discuss the acquisition of the rights to Poor Things with the author, Alastair Gray. He was a very lovely man, Lanthimos said. Unfortunately, he died just a couple of years before we actually made the film, but he was very special and energetic. He was 80-something when we met, and as soon as I got there, he had seen Dogtooth and said, "I had my friend put on the DVD, because I don't know how to operate these things, but I think you're very talented, young man." Lanthimos said Gray took him on a personal tour of Glasgow, where Gray showed him several places he had incorporated into the story. 9. While filming The Favourite, 2018, Lanthimos revisited the project, which he discussed with Emma Stone, who starred in that film. He began developing Poor Things more actively after the success of The Favourite. After the relative success of The Favourite, where I actually made a slightly more expensive film that was successful, people were more inclined to allow me to do whatever it is that I wanted, so I just went back to Gray's book and said, "This is what I want to do." It was a long process, but the book was always on my mind. While developing the film, Lanthimos and Stone collaborated on the short film Bleed, 2022. 10. Pre-production. Poor Things was announced in February 2021. 11. Lanthimos said that working with Stone again gave him an advantage, as they had developed a mutual trust. Stone also discussed how the process of making Poor Things was different from making The Favourite because she also acted as a producer. It was so interesting to be involved in how the film was being pieced together, from cast to department heads to what have you. Ultimately, Yorgos was the one making those decisions, but I was very involved in the process, which started during the pandemic. We were reaching out to people and casting and everything during that time, because we couldn't go anywhere. 10. Casting. Willem Dafoe entered negotiations to join the cast in March 2021. 12. In April, Ramy Youssef was in talks to join. 13. Dafoe and Youssef were confirmed to join in May, with Mark Ruffalo and Jared Carmichael also added to the cast. 14. 15. In September, Christopher Abbott was cast. 16. In November, Margaret Qualley and Susie Bimba were cast. 17. With Catherine Hunter also revealing she had a role in the film. 18. In preparation for her role, Stone took dance lessons and accidentally dyed her hair black. Lanthimos liked the contrast between the dark hair and Stone's fair complexion. 1920 Stone said she was attracted to the idea of portraying a woman reborn with a liberated mindset free from societal pressures. "It's such a fairy tale, and a metaphor clearly, this can't actually happen, but the idea that you could start anew as a woman, as this body that's already formed, and see everything for the first time and try to understand the nature of sexuality, or power, or money or choice, the ability to make choices and live by your own rules and not society's. I thought that was a really fascinating world to go into." Stone especially appreciated Bella's lack of shame. Even though Bella has obviously been through trauma in her life, it just isn't there for her now. She was the most joyous character in the world to play, because she has no shame about anything. She's new, you know? I've never had to build a character before that didn't have things that had happened to them or had been put on them by society throughout their lives. It was an extremely freeing experience to be her. 10. Youssef said that to prepare for their roles, he and Dafoe attended mortician school. Reflecting on the experimental theater games Lanthimos assigned the cast before filming, Dafoe said, "You're very patient with everyone, and everyone's patient with you. They need to be confident in what they're doing, because what we're doing is quite risky. It's not a normal film." 19. Dafoe spent 6 hours each day in the hair and makeup department, 4 hours having extensive prosthetics applied to his face at the start of the day and 2 hours to remove it at the end. 21. Discussing the male characterizations, Lanthimos acknowledged that while each male character was different and had his own motivation, they all reflected male attitudes typical of the story's Victorian setting. He said, "There are variations, I guess, but in this film, there's a general tendency to try to control Bella even if it's done in a caring or subtle way, in the way that a parent might or that Dafoe's character Baxter does, or just being infatuated in the way that Ramy is. You know, being a nice man deep down, but still having the characteristics of a man of that era." Stone also said that the more agency Bella gets, the more she learns and grows, the more it drives these men insane. The more she has an opinion and her own wants and needs and all of that, it makes them crazy. They want her to stay the sort of pure thing. 10. Filming. Principal photography began in August 2021, primarily on sound stages at Origo Studios in Budapest, Hungary. 22 sequences in Alfie Blessington's house were shot at the Metropolitan Urban Sabo Library in Budapest. 23 scenes set at a church in London were filmed at a church on the outskirts of Budapest. 23 filming wrapped in December 2021. 24 Poor Things is the first feature film to be partially shot on Kodak's 35mm Ektachrome color reversal motion picture film stock since its revival in 2018. 25. Influences. According to cinematographer Robbie Ryan, Francis Ford Coppola's 1992 film Bram Stoker's Dracula served as the main source of inspiration to everyone making the picture. 26 other films that served as influences were Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger's Black Narcissus, 1947, Federico Fellini's And the Ship Sails On, 1983, and several films by Roy Andersson. 27. Costumes. Some of the film's costumes in an exhibit at the Benaki Museum, Athens. Lanthimos worked closely with costume designer Holly Waddington to reflect Bella's growth and development through her wardrobe, from the more puffy silhouettes of her childlike era to the nearly corseted gown she wears at the film's climax. 28, 29, 30 Stone elaborated on Bella's growth as reflected through her costumes, noting how at the beginning of the story she dresses in more traditional clothing and dresses more bizarrely as she transforms. She said, "I loved that element of, how would Bella put clothing together with the way her mind works at this point. At the end, there are these very military-looking dresses that look like nothing you've seen Bella wear. Things are much more form-fitting and constrained, but that's because she's come to a place where she's grown and decided who she is and what she's going to do. She's not assimilating, necessarily, but there's just more structure there." 10. Music. Main article, Poor Things, soundtrack. Poor Things was the first film scored by the pop musician Jerskin Fendrix. Milan Records released the soundtrack album in conjunction with the film's release date, December 8, 2023. 2 singles, Bella and Lisbon, were released on November 14. 31. Genre. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter called Poor Things genre-defying. 5. Critics have described its genre as a sex comedy, gothic comedy, black comedy, and an absurdist comedy. 32-33 5 Some noted steampunk elements in the visual design. 34 8 35 36 It has also been described by English scholars as a work of science fiction. 37. Release and reception. Poor Things had its world premiere at the 80th Venice International Film Festival on September 1, 2023 38, and also screened at the Telluride Film Festival 39, the New York Film Festival 40, the BFI London Film Festival 41, the Busan International Film Festival 42, and the Sitges Film Festival 43. The film had a limited theatrical release by Searchlight Pictures in the United States on December 8, 2023, and began a wide release on December 22, 2023. 44-45 It was released in Ireland and the United Kingdom on January 12, 2024. 46 It was previously scheduled to be released on September 8, 2023. 47-48 but was delayed by the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike, taking the original release date of Magazine Dreams. 44. Home media. Poor Things was released on digital platforms on February 27, 2024. 49, and became available for streaming on Hulu in the US on March 7, 50, and on Disney Plus in Canada the same day. 51 The film was released by Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment on Blu-ray and DVD on March 12. 49. Box office. Poor Things grossed $34.6 million in the United States and Canada, and $82.6 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $117.2 million. 3-4. In its limited opening weekend, it made $644,000 from 9 theaters, a per-venue average of $71,556, the third best of 2023. 52 Expanding to 82 theaters the following weekend, it made $2.2 million, finishing 10th. 53 In its third weekend it made $2.4 million from 800 theaters, and a total of $3.4 million over the 4-day Christmas frame. 54 Following its 11 Oscar nominations, it expanded from 900 theaters to 2,300 in its 8th week of release and made $3.08 million, an increase of 43% from the previous weekend. 55 The next weekend it made $2.2 million. 56. Critical response. Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo garnered critical acclaim for their performances and earned Academy Award nominations for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor, with Stone winning. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 92% of 377 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 8.6/10. The website's consensus reads, "Wildly imaginative and exhilaratingly over the top, Poor Things is a bizarre, brilliant tour de force for director Yorgos Lanthimos and star Emma Stone." 57. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 88 out of 100, based on 62 critics, indicating universal acclaim. 58 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale, while 68% of those polled by PostTrack called the film excellent, with 75% saying they would definitely recommend it. 52 Glamour wrote that the film received widespread critical acclaim following its world premiere and that Stone was praised for her hilariously bold and fearless sex scenes in it. 59. Stephanie Zacharek of Time wrote that Poor Things is Lanthimos' finest film so far, a strange, gorgeous-looking picture that extends generosity both to its characters and the audience. She called Stone's performance wonderful, vital, exploratory, almost lunar in its perfect oddness. 60 Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian called it a virtuoso comic epic and added that Stone had given a hilarious, beyond next-level performance. 61 David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter termed it an insanely enjoyable fairy tale, adding that Stone gorges on it in a fearless performance that traces an expansive arc most actors could only dream about. 5 Variety's Guy Lodge also wrote that the film rests on a single astonishing performance by Stone. 62. BBC Culture's Nicholas Barber found the film outrageous and hilarious, comparing it to the work of Wes Anderson and Terry Gilliam. The review also noted that the novel's realistic 19th century setting had been changed to a fantastical steampunk wonderland, and that some of its satirical humor and most of its socialist and feminist themes had been toned down. 63 reviews by The Guardian, 61 Variety, 62 and Entertainment Weekly, 64 also emphasized the setting's steampunk elements. Manala Dargis, chief critic of the New York Times, was not as impressed. She felt the story became more monotonal, flat, and dull over time, writing that the movie's design is rich, its ideas thin. It isn't long into Poor Things that you start to feel as if you were being bullied into admiring a film that's so deeply self-satisfied there really isn't room for the two of you. But Dargis too lauded Stone's acting. 65. Filmmakers such as Michael Mann, A.V. Rockwell, Joe Dante, Chloe Demant, Robert Eggers, Kitty Green, Chad Hartigan, Matt Johnson, Zoe Lister-Jones, James Ponsoldt, and Jeff Rowe also praised the film. 66-67. In June 2025, IndieWire ranked the film at number 88 on its list of the 100 best movies of the 2020s, so far. 68. In July 2025, it was one of the films voted for the Reader's Choice edition of the New York Times list of the 100 best movies of the 21st century, finishing at number 106. 69. Ramin Sito-Ode and Zach Sharf in Variety wrote, "Not everyone loved Poor Things. A stream of Venice theatergoers bolted for the exit during some of the racier scenes." 70. Mick LaSalle at the San Francisco Chronicle called the film a 141-minute mistake, writing, "Worst of all, it's dishonest. It purports to be a feminist document, but it defines a woman's autonomy as the ability to be exploited and not care. What version of feminism are these guys Lanthimos and screenwriter Tony McNamara trying to sell us here?" 71. Film critic Scott Mantz applauded LaSalle's post, finding the film a seriously misguided take on female empowerment, though he praised the film's ambition and production values. 72. Angelica Jade Bastian of Vulture warned readers, "This isn't a sincere treatise on female sexuality, it's a dark comedy for people who carry around an NPR tote bag," and criticized the film for failing to take a sincere interest in the interior conflicts of its protagonist. Bastian identified the decision to make Bella Baxter mentally a child as the primary failure of Poor Things' sex scenes, citing Bella's depiction as an example of the born sexy yesterday trope. "In many ways," she wrote, "the film demonstrates the limits of the modern cis-male auteur's vision for and about women, particularly their sexual selves." Praise was saved for Holly Waddington's costuming, which Bastian called the greatest triumph of the film. 73. The film has been subject to scrutiny in Gray's native Scotland due to its seeming disregard for the source material and its Scottish roots. 74. With online documentary channel Ocean presenting a portrayal of the true origins of Poor Things and its Scottish setting. 75. Those closest to Gray have suggested that Lanthimos' interpretation of the source material was something Gray agreed to in the early 2010s, when contractual terms for a screenplay were drawn up. 76. Accolades. Main article, list of accolades received by Poor Things, film. Poor Things won the Golden Lion at the 80th Venice International Film Festival. 77. At the 96th Academy Awards, it received 11 nominations, including Best Picture, and won 4 awards, including Best Actress for Stone. 78-79. At the 81st Golden Globe Awards, it received 7 nominations and won Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy and Best Actress, Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for Stone. 80-81. At the 29th Critics' Choice Awards, it received 13 nominations, winning for Best Actress. 82-83. It received 11 nominations at the 77th British Academy Film Awards and won 5 awards, including for Best Actress in a Leading Role. 84-85. The American Film Institute and the National Board of Review named Poor Things one of 10 best films of the year. Emily Jean Emma Stone, born November 6, 1988, is an American actress and film producer. Her accolades include 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTA Awards, 2 Golden Globe Awards and a Volpe Cup, as well as a nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award. In 2017, she was the world's highest paid actress and named by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. As a child in Arizona, Stone started acting in local theater productions before relocating to Los Angeles to pursue a career in the film industry. As a teenager, she made her television debut in the reality show In Search of the New Partridge Family, 2004. After small television roles, she appeared in a string of successful comedy films, such as Superbad, 2007, Zombieland, 2009, and Easy A, 2010, which became Stone's first leading role. Following this breakthrough, she starred in the romantic comedy Crazy, Stupid, Love, 2011, and the period drama The Help, 2011, and gained wider recognition as Gwen Stacy in Mark Webb's Spider-Man films, 2012 to 2014. Stone cemented her leading lady status by taking on more eclectic and dramatic roles. She earned nominations for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for portraying a recovering drug addict in the surrealist dark comedy Birdman, 2014, and Abigail Hill in the absurdist period film The Favorite, 2018. The latter marked her first of many collaborations with director Yorgos Lanthimos. She won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for portraying an aspiring actress in the romantic musical La La Land, 2016, and a woman wildly out of place in society in Lanthimos's Poor Things, 2023. She was also nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture for the latter. Stone also earned recognition for portraying tennis player Billie Jean King in Battle of the Sexes, 2017, and as Cruella de Vil in Cruella, 2021. She has since collaborated twice more with Lanthimos, starring in the anthology film Kinds of Kindness, 2024, and the dark comedy Bugonia, 2025. The latter earned her further nominations for the Academy Award for Best Actress and Best Picture, making her the first woman to be nominated as both a producer and an actress in each of 2 different films. 2. On Broadway, Stone starred as Sally Bowles in a revival of the musical Cabaret, 2014 to 2015. On television, she has led the dark comedy miniseries Maniac, 2018, and The Curse, 2023. She and her husband, Dave McCary, founded the production company Fruit Tree in 2020. Early life. Emily Jean Stone was born on November 6, 1988, in Scottsdale, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix. 3. Her father is Jeffrey Charles Stone, the founder and CEO of a general contracting company, and her mother is Krista Jean Stone, née Yeager, a homemaker. 5. She lived on the grounds of the Camelback Inn Resort from ages 12 to 15. 7. She has a younger brother, Spencer. 9. Her paternal grandfather, Konrad Ostbergsten, was from a Swedish family that anglicized their surname to Stone. She also has German, English, Scottish, and Irish ancestry. 10. She was raised Lutheran. 11. As an infant, Stone had baby colic and cried frequently. She consequently developed nodules and calluses on her vocal cords while she was a child, which caused her to develop a low, husky voice. 13. Stone has described herself as loud and bossy while growing up. 14. She was educated at Sequoia Elementary School and attended Cacopa Middle School for 6th grade. Stone did not like school, though once said that her controlling nature meant that I made sure I got all A's. 15. She suffered panic attacks and anxiety as a child. 16. And said they caused a decline in her social skills. 17. Stone underwent therapy but said it was her participation in local theater plays that helped cure the attacks, recalling Valley Youth Theater in Phoenix, Arizona, where Stone appeared in 16 productions. The first time I had a panic attack I was sitting in my friend's house, and I thought the house was burning down. I called my mom and she brought me home, and for the next 3 years it just would not stop. I would go to the nurse at lunch most days and just wring my hands. I would ask my mom to tell me exactly how the day was going to be, then ask again 30 seconds later. I just needed to know that no one was going to die and nothing was going to change. 16. Stone wanted to act since age 4. She wanted a career in sketch comedy initially, but shifted her focus to musical theater, and took vocal lessons for several years. 18. Her acting debut, at age 11, came in a stage production of The Wind in the Willows, playing Otter. 19. Stone was homeschooled for 2 years, during which time she appeared in 16 productions at Phoenix's Valley Youth Theater, including The Princess and the Pea, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Joseph, and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat 5, and performed with the theater's improvisational comedy troupe. 20. Around this time, she traveled to Los Angeles and auditioned unsuccessfully for a role on Nickelodeon's All That. 21. Her parents later sent her for private acting lessons with a local acting coach, who had worked at the William Morris Agency in the 1970s. 6. Stone attended Xavier College Preparatory and all-girl Catholic high school as a freshman, but dropped out after 1 semester to become an actress. 5. She prepared a PowerPoint presentation for her parents titled Project Hollywood to convince them to let her move to California to pursue an acting career. 18. In January 2004, she moved with her mother to an apartment in Los Angeles. She recalled, "I went up for every single show on the Disney Channel and auditioned to play the daughter on every single sitcom," adding, "I ended up getting none." 8. Between auditions for roles, she enrolled in online high school classes and worked part-time at a dog treat bakery. 16. Career beginnings, 2004 to 2009. When Stone registered for the Screen Actors Guild at age 16, the name Emily Stone was already taken, and she briefly went by Riley Stone. 22. She made her television debut as Lori Partridge on the VH1 talent competition reality show In Search of the New Partridge Family, 2004. The resulting show, retitled The New Partridge Family, 2004, remained an unsold pilot. 23. After guest starring in the television shows Medium, 2005, and Malcolm in the Middle, 2006, she decided to change her stage name to Emma, chosen in honor of Emma Bunton of the Spice Girls, as she struggled to adapt to the name Riley. 22-26. She next appeared in Louis C.K.'s HBO series Lucky Louie, 2006, 16, and unsuccessfully auditioned to star as Claire Bennett in the NBC science fiction drama Heroes, 2007, later called this her rock bottom experience. 6. In April 2007, she played Violet Trimble in the Fox action drama Drive, but the show was cancelled after 7 episodes. 5. Stone made her feature film debut in Greg Motola's comedy Superbad, 2007, co-starring Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. The film tells the story of 2 high school students who go through a series of comic misadventures after they plan to buy alcohol for a party. To play Hill's romantic interest, she dyed her hair red. 27. Stone has described the experience of acting in her first film as amazing, but very different than other experiences I've had since then. 28. The film was a commercial success, and earned her the Young Hollywood Award for Exciting New Face. 29-30. Stone in 2009. The next year, Stone starred in the comedy The Rocker, 2008, as Amelia Stone, the straight-face bass guitarist in a band. She learned to play the bass for the role. 31. The actress, who has called herself a big smiler and laugher, said she found it difficult to play a character whose personality was so different from her own. The film and her performance received negative reviews from critics and was a commercial failure. 32-33. Her next release, the romantic comedy The House Bunny, performed better at the box office, becoming a moderate commercial success. 34. The film saw her play the president of a sorority, and perform a cover version of the Waitress's 1982 song I Know What Boys Like. 35. Reviews were generally negative. 36. But Stone was praised. 37. With TV Guide's Ken Fox writing that she is well on her way to becoming a star. 38. Stone appeared in 3 films released in 2009. The first of these was opposite Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Garner and Michael Douglas in Mark Waters' Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Loosely based on Charles Dickens's 1843 novella A Christmas Carol, the romantic comedy has her playing a ghost who haunts her former boyfriend. Critical reaction to the film was negative, but it was a modest commercial success. 3940 Her most financially profitable venture that year was Ruben Fleischer's $102.30 million grossing horror comedy film Zombieland 41, in which she featured alongside Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, and Abigail Breslin. In the film, she appeared as a con artist and survivor of a zombie apocalypse, in a role which Chris Hewitt of Empire magazine thought was somewhat underwritten. 42 In a more positive review, Tim Roby of the Daily Telegraph called the hugely promising Stone a tough cookie who projects the aura of being wiser than her years. 43 Stone's third release in 2009 was Kieran and Michelle Mulroney's Paper Man, a comedy drama which disappointed critics. 44 Rise to Prominence, 2010 to 2013. Stone voiced an Australian shepherd in Marmaduke, 2010, a comedy from director Tom Day based on Brad Anderson's long-running comic strip of the same name. 45 Her breakthrough came the same year with a starring role in Easy A teen comedy directed by Will Gluck. 46-47 Partially based on Nathaniel Hawthorne's 1850 novel The Scarlet Letter, the film tells the story of Olive Pendergast, Stone, a high school student who becomes embroiled in a comic sex scandal after a false rumor circulates that she is sexually promiscuous. Stone read the script before the project was optioned for production, and pursued it with her manager while production details were being finalized. She found the script so different and unique from anything I'd read before, calling it funny and sweet. 48 When Stone discovered that the film had begun production, she met with Gluck, expressing her enthusiasm for the project. A few months later, the audition process started and she met again with Gluck, becoming one of the first actresses to audition. 49 The film received positive critical reviews, and Stone's performance was considered its prime asset. 50 Anna Smith of Time Out wrote, Stone gives a terrific performance, her knowing drawl implying intellect and indifference with underlying warmth. 51 The film was a commercial success, grossing $75 million against its $8 million budget. 52 Stone was nominated for a BAFTA Rising Star Award and a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, and won the MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance. 53 Stone at a screening of Easy A, her breakthrough film, in 2010. In October 2010, Stone hosted an episode of NBC's sketch comedy Saturday Night Live. Her appearances included a sketch playing off her resemblance to Lindsay Lohan. 54 Stone called it the greatest week of my life. 8:55 She hosted again in 2011, appeared in an episode in 2014, and in its 40th anniversary special in 2015. 56 A brief appearance in the sex comedy Friends with Benefits, 2011, reunited her with Gluck. 57 She followed this with a supporting role in Glenn Ficarra and John Requa's romantic comedy Crazy, Stupid, Love, 2011, alongside Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and Julianne Moore. The film featured her as a law school graduate, and the love interest of Gosling's character. Despite finding some inevitable collapses into convention in the film, Drew McWeeny of HitFix wrote that Stone ties the whole film together. 58 At the 2012 Teen Choice Awards, she won the Choice Movie Actress, Comedy Award for her performance in the film. 59 Crazy, Stupid, Love was a box office success, grossing $142.9 million worldwide against a production budget of $50 million. 60. Dismayed at being typecast as the sarcastic interest of the guy, Stone co-starred with Viola Davis in Tate Taylor's period drama The Help, 2011, a film she found challenging. 61. The film is based on Catherine Stockett's 2009 novel of the same name and is set in 1960s Jackson, Mississippi. She met with Taylor to express a desire to work on the film. The director said, "Stone was completely awkward and dorky, with her raspy voice, and she sat down and we got a little intoxicated and had a blast, and I just thought, God, this is Skeeter." 62. She was cast as Eugenia Skeeter Felon, an aspiring writer learning about the lives of the African American maids. In preparation for the part, she learned to speak in a Southern accent and educated herself on the civil rights movement through literature and film. 63. With a worldwide gross of $216 million against a $25 million budget, The Help became Stone's highest-grossing film to that point. 64. The film, and her performance, received positive reviews from critics. Writing for Empire, Anna Smith thought Stone was well-meaning and hugely likable despite finding flaws in the character. 65. The film won Best Ensemble Cast from the Women Film Critics Circle and the Broadcast Film Critics Association. 66-67. Stone turned down a role in the action comedy 21 Jump Street after signing on to Mark Webb's 2012 film The Amazing Spider-Man, a reboot of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man series. 68-69. She portrayed Gwen Stacy, the love interest of Spider-Man. 70. Stone returned to her natural blonde hair color for the role, having dyed it red previously. 71-72. She admitted to having never read the comics, and therefore felt responsible to educate herself about Spider-Man. "My experience was with the Sam Raimi movies. I always assumed that Mary Jane was his first love." 73. Adding that she was only familiar with Stacy's character as portrayed by Bryce Dallas Howard in Spider-Man 3. 74-75. The Amazing Spider-Man was the seventh highest grossing film of the year with global revenues of $757.9 million. 76. Entertainment Weekly's Lisa Schwartzbaum found Stone to be irresistible. 77. And Ian Freer of Empire was particularly impressed with Stone's and Garfield's performances. 78. At the annual People's Choice Awards ceremony, she was nominated for 3 awards, including Favorite Movie Actress. 79. Later that year, Stone voiced a role in the crime-based video game Sleeping Dogs, which earned her a Spike Video Game Award. 80. Stone began 2013 with a voice role in the DreamWorks animation film The Croods, which was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. 81. This followed with an appearance in Movie 43, an anthology film which consists of 16 short stories. She played the title role in the segment entitled Veronica. 82. She next starred alongside Ryan Gosling and Sean Penn in Ruben Fleischer's Gangster Squad, 2013, a crime thriller set in Los Angeles during the 1940s. 83. A.O. Scott of the New York Times dismissed the film as a hectic jumble of fedoras and zoot suits, but praised Stone's pairing with Gosling. 84. Established actress, 2014 to 2017. In 2014, Stone reprised the role of Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. She believed that her character did not depend on the film's protagonist, asserting, "She saves him more than he saves her. She's incredibly helpful to Spider-Man. He's the muscle, she's the brains." 85. Her performance was well received by critics. 86. An Empire reviewer commended her for standing out in the film, writing, "Stone is the Heath Ledger of the series, doing something unexpected with an easily dismissed supporting character." 87. The role won her the Favorite Movie Actress Award at the 2015 Kids' Choice Awards. 88. Despite Gwen's on-screen death, Stone expressed interest in reprising the role in later films. 89. However, due to The Amazing Spider-Man 2's mixed reviews, low box office performance, and the 2014 Sony Pictures hack, all planned sequels and spin-offs were cancelled, and the franchise was rebooted once again after being integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 1991. Later that year, Stone took on a role in Woody Allen's romantic comedy Magic in the Moonlight, a modest commercial success. 92 A.O. Scott criticized her role and pairing with Colin Firth, describing it as the kind of pedantic nonsense that is meant to signify superior intellect. 93. The black comedy Birdman, directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, was Stone's final film release of 2014. Co-starring Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, it featured her as Sam Thompson, the recovering addict daughter of actor Regan Thompson, Keaton, who becomes his assistant. Inarritu created the character based on his experience with his daughter. 94. Birdman was critically acclaimed 95 and was the most successful film at the 87th Academy Awards. It was nominated for 9 awards, winning 4, including Best Picture. 96. The Movie Network deemed it one of Stone's best performances to date, and Robbie Collin of the Daily Telegraph found her to be superb and tremendous in her role, while also highlighting her monologue in the film, which he believed to have been delivered like a knitting needle to the gut. 97-98. She received Academy, BAFTA, Golden Globe, and Screen Actors Guild Award nominations. 99. Stone at a screening of La La Land, 2016, her performance in the film won her the Academy Award for Best Actress. From November 2014 to February 2015, Stone starred in a revival of the Broadway musical Cabaret as Sally Bowles, taking over the role from Michelle Williams. 100. Deeming it the most nerve-wracking thing ever, Stone listened to a French radio station to mentally prepare herself for the role. 101-102. Marilyn Stasio of Variety was critical of her singing abilities and found her performance to be a bit narrow as an emotional platform, but a smart choice for her acting skills, the perfect fit for her sharp intelligence and kinetic energy. 100. Stone's 2015 film, the romantic comedy Aloha by Cameron Crowe, was a critical and commercial failure. Her portrayal of an Air Force pilot, alongside Bradley Cooper, was panned by critics for its controversial whitewashing of the cast, as Stone's character was meant to be of Asian, Hawaiian, and Swedish descent. She later regretted taking part in the project, acknowledging whitewashing as a widespread problem in Hollywood. 103, 104, 105. Despite the backlash, Stone was nominated for Choice Movie Actress, Comedy at the 2015 Teen Choice Awards. 106. Also in 2015, Stone starred opposite Joaquin Phoenix as his character's love interest in Woody Allen's Irrational Man, which received mixed reviews. 92, 107. She also appeared in the music video for Will Butler's single Anna. 108. During her run on Cabaret, Stone met filmmaker Damien Chazelle, who, impressed with her performance, cast her in his musical comedy drama La La Land. 109. The project, which marked her third collaboration with Gosling, starred Stone as Mia Dolan, an aspiring actress living in Los Angeles. 110. Stone borrowed several real-life experiences for her character, and in preparation, watched The Umbrellas of Cherbourg and films of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. 111, 112. For the film's soundtrack, she recorded 6 songs. La La Land served as the opening film at the 2016 Venice Film Festival, where it generated critical acclaim and earned Stone the Volpe Cup for Best Actress. 114. It emerged as a commercial success, with a worldwide gross of over $440 million against a production budget of $30 million. 115. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian wrote that Stone has never been better, superbly smart, witty, vulnerable, her huge doe eyes radiating intelligence even, or especially, when they are filling with tears. 116. For her performance, Stone won the Academy, Golden Globe, SAG, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress. 117. Stone's sole release of 2017 was Battle of the Sexes, based on the 1973 eponymous match between tennis players Billie Jean King, Stone, and Bobby Riggs, Steve Carell. In preparation, Stone met with King, watched old footage and interviews of her, worked with a dialect coach to speak in King's accent, and drank high-calorie protein shakes to gain 15 pounds, 6.8 kilograms. 118-119 The film premiered to positive reviews at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival, and certain critics considered Stone's performance to be the finest of her career. 120 Benjamin Lee of The Guardian praised her for playing against type, and for being strong and convincing in the part. 121 Even so, the film earned less than its $25 million budget. 122 Stone received her fourth Golden Globe nomination for it, and attended the ceremony with King. 123 Films with Yorgos Lanthimos and Professional Expansion, 2018, present. Stone collaborated with director Yorgos Lanthimos on several projects, such as The Favorite, 2018, and Poor Things, 2023. She won her second Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in the latter. In 2018, Stone and Rachel Weisz played Abigail Masham and Sarah Churchill, respectively, two cousins fighting for the affection of Queen Anne, Olivia Colman, in Yorgos Lanthimos' historical comedy drama The Favorite. She found it challenging to be an American among an all-British cast, and struggled with mastering her character's accent. 124 The film premiered at the 75th Venice International Film Festival to critical acclaim. 125 Michael Nordini of IndieWire praised Stone for taking on such a bold role following the success of La La Land, and termed the three lead actresses a majestic triumvirate in a period piece that's as tragic as it is hilarious. 126 Stone then executive produced and starred in the Netflix dark comedy miniseries Maniac, 2018, directed by Karihoji Fukunaga. It featured Stone and Jonah Hill as two strangers whose lives are transformed due to a mysterious pharmaceutical trial. An admirer of Fukunaga's work, she agreed to the project without reading the script. 127 Judy Berman of Time magazine was impressed with Stone and Hill for their growth as actors since Superbad and noted the complexity in their performances. 128 Stone received her fifth Golden Globe nomination and third Oscar nomination for The Favorite, and additionally earned SAG nominations for both Maniac and The Favorite. 129 130 131 That same year, Stone appeared in Paul McCartney's music video for his song Who Cares? 132. Stone reprised her role as Wichita in Zombieland, Double Tap, 2019, the sequel to 2009's Zombieland, which received mixed reviews and grossed $125 million worldwide. 134 She narrated the Netflix documentary series The Mind, Explained, 2019, and reprised the voice role of Eep in The Croods, A New Age, 2020, the sequel to 2013's The Croods. 135 136 137 In 2021, Stone played Cruella de Vil, originated by Glenn Close in the previous live-action adaptations, in Craig Gillespie's crime comedy Cruella, a Disney live-action based on the 1961 animation 101 Dalmatians. Starring opposite Emma Thompson, Stone also served as an executive producer of the film alongside Close. 138 139 The film was released in U.S. theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access to positive reviews and grossed $233 million worldwide against its $100 million budget. 141 Justin Chang of Los Angeles Times wrote that despite the film's flawed screenplay, Stone was wholly committed, glam to the nines. Chang favorably compared it with her performance in The Favorite, adding that she nailed every nuance as another lowly young woman turned ambitious schemer. 142 For Cruella, Stone garnered her sixth Golden Globe nomination. 143. In 2020, Stone and her husband, Dave Mekari, launched the production company Fruit Tree. 144 Their first project was the independent film When You Finish Saving the World, which marked Jesse Eisenberg's feature directorial debut. 145 The film premiered at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival, and had modest reviews. 147. The company's next release was the comedy Problemista, directed by Julio Torres. 148. It premiered at the 2023 South by Southwest, and was initially scheduled to be released that year, but was delayed due to the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. 149. 150. Both films were produced in collaboration with A24. 151. Continuing her collaboration with Lanthimos, Stone starred in his short film Bleed, 2022, and feature film Poor Things, 2023. 152. The latter, a fantasy coming-of-age film, is based on the novel of the same name by Alastair Gray. 153. Stone also produced the film, in which she starred as Bella, a young Victorian woman who escapes her suffocating home but finds her morals and behavior very much at odds with the world outside. She found the experience of playing a character liberated of societal pressures to be extremely freeing. 154. And she performed nudity and several sex scenes in it. 155. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Stone gorges on it in a fearless performance that traces an expansive arc most actors could only dream about, and particularly praised her ability to perform physical comedy. 156. Stephanie Zacharek of Time termed her performance wonderful, vital, exploratory, almost lunar in its perfect oddness. 157. Stone won her 4th Critics' Choice Award, 2nd BAFTA Award, 2nd Golden Globe Award, and 2nd Academy Award in addition to a Best Picture nomination. 158. 159. Stone at the 2024 New York Film Festival premiere of A Real Pain, where she wore a wig to disguise her shaved head for her role in Begonia, wanting to keep the look a surprise. 160. Stone next executive produced and starred in the Showtime satirical comedy series The Curse, 2023. 161. She played Whitney, an influencer who hosts an HGTV show with her husband. 162. Commenting on her achievements of the year, BBC Culture's Karen James opined that Stone has quickly moved past Hollywood stardom to claim serious artistic credentials. 163. She received a Golden Globe nomination for The Curse. 164. 165. The 2024 Sundance Film Festival marked the release of 2 films produced by Stone for Fruit Tree: the horror film I Saw the TV Glow and Eisenberg's second directorial, A Real Pain. 166. The latter, a comedy drama about 2 mismatched Jewish American cousins, received critical acclaim and several accolades. 167. In her 4th collaboration with Lanthimos, Stone played 3 characters in his absurdist anthology film Kinds of Kindness, which premiered at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival. 168. Mashable's Robert Daniels considered it to be the weakest among their collaborations, and labeled her as miscast. 169. In 2025, Stone first appeared in Ari Aster's contemporary Western film Eddington, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and also starred Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, and Austin Butler. 170. 171. Ben Krall of The Wrap felt that while Stone and Pascal were no doubt game and ready to let loose, their characters aren't given an awful lot to actually do, with both set up less as fully fledged characters than as images for Phoenix to pine for or run against. 172. Stone reunited with Lanthimos in Begonia, a remake of the South Korean film Save the Green Planet, playing a CEO kidnapped by 2 men who believe she is an alien. 173. She shaved her head for her role in the film and wore wigs in public in the months that followed to disguise the look, wanting to keep it a surprise for the audience. 160. Released on October 24, 2025, the film received generally positive reviews. 174. She received Actor, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, and 2 Oscar, Best Picture and Best Actress, nominations. She became the 2nd youngest person, and the youngest woman, in Oscar history to receive 7 nominations, surpassing previous record holder Meryl Streep. 175. Stone and close friend Jennifer Lawrence are attached to produce a movie about the Muppets character Miss Piggy, which will be written by Cole Escola. 176. She will star opposite Chris Pine in the upcoming Universal romantic comedy The Catch, which will be directed by Mikiri. 177. In addition, she will reprise her role as Cruella in a sequel to the 2021 film. 178. Reception and acting style. Stone at the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con. Her hair, eyes, and husky voice have been described by the media as her trademarks. 179. 180. Commenting on her performance in The Help, Kirk Honeycutt of The Hollywood Reporter called her one of our very best young actresses. 181 times. Daniel D'Addario stated in 2015 that Stone appears to have fairly limited options and choosing roles in independent films by less established directors would represent a substantive risk. 182. Analyzing her on-screen persona, Jessica Kyang of IndieWire noted that Stone usually plays the approachable, down-to-earth, girl-next-door type, and in person she demonstrates many of those qualities too, along with an absolute refusal to take herself too seriously. 183. Biographer Karen Hollinger writes that early in her career, Stone was often labeled a star ingenue, a perceived limitation she escaped despite not being a classically trained actress, as she crafted a brilliant career based on performative skills, careful choice of roles and distinctive personality. 184. In a 2024 analysis of her career trajectory, IndieWire suggested that from her breakthrough roles to acclaimed performances in independent films, Stone is positioned as a potential new film star in Hollywood's evolving landscape. 185. In 2008, Stone topped Saturday Night Magazine's Top 20 Rising Stars Under 30 and was included in a similar list compiled by Moviefone. 186. 187. Love Film placed her on their list of 2010 Top 20 Actresses Under 30, and her performance in Easy A was included in Time's Top 10 Everything of 2010. 188. 189. She appeared in the 2013 Celebrity 100 list, a compilation of the 100 most powerful people in the world, as selected annually by Forbes. The magazine reported that she had earned $16 million from June 2012 to June 2013. 190. That same year, she was ranked first in the magazine's top 10 best value stars. 191. In 2015, Forbes published that she had become one of the world's highest paid actresses with earnings of $6.5 million. 192. The magazine ranked her the world's highest paid actress 2 years later with annual earnings of $26 million. 193. In 2017, she was included on Time's annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. 194. Stone has been described as a style icon, with her hair, eyes, and husky voice listed as her trademark features. 179. 180. Vogue credits the actress for her sophisticated, perfectly put together looks, writing that her charisma, both on screen and off, has charmed many, and for her embrace of old Hollywood glamour. 195. 196. B. Shapiro of the New York Times called Stone a likable, spunky, talented, self-deprecating, and slightly goofy actress who is diverse in her fashion choices. 197. In 2009, she was featured on FHM's 100 Sexiest Women in the World and Maxim's Hot 100. 198. 199. The latter also placed her on the list on 3 other occasions: 2010, 2011, and 2014. 200. In 2011, she featured on Victoria's Secret's list of What is Sexy as the sexiest actress. 201. She was mentioned in other media outlet listings that year, including People's 100 Most Beautiful Women, each of FHM's and FHM Australia's 100 Sexiest Women in the World, and Men's Health's 100 Hottest Women. 202 She was ranked 6th on Empire's list of the 100 sexiest movie stars in 2013. 203 Stone was named the best dressed woman of 2012 by Vogue and was included on similar listings by Glamour in 2013 and 2015, and People in 2014. 204 205 Personal life. Stone moved from Los Angeles to Greenwich Village, New York City, in 2009-18 and back to Los Angeles in 2016. 16 Despite significant media attention, she refuses to publicly discuss her personal life. Concerned with living a normal life, Stone has said she dislikes receiving paparazzi attention outside her home. 206 She has expressed her fondness for her profession 16 and has cited Diane Keaton as an acting influence, calling her one of the most covered-up actresses of all time. Stone has a close relationship with her family. 6 She says, "I am blessed with a great family and great people around me that would be able to kick me in the shins if I ever for 1 minute got lost up in the clouds. I've been really lucky in that sense." 198 Stone and Andrew Garfield at the premiere of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2014. Stone dated her Paper Man co-star Kieran Culkin for 2 years. In 2011, she started dating her Amazing Spider-Man co-star Andrew Garfield for 4 years. 207 208 Their relationship was speculated on in the media. The pair refused to speak publicly about it, though they made several appearances together. In 2014, in New York City, Stone and Garfield encouraged paparazzi to visit websites that spread awareness of causes such as autism. 209 In 2015, they were reported to have broken up. 210 211 Stone met Saturday Night Live segment director Dave Meekary on December 3, 2016, while hosting the show. They began dating the following year. On December 4, 2019, they announced their engagement. They married in a private ceremony in September 2020. 212 In March 2021, Stone gave birth to their daughter, Louise Jean Meekary. 213 214 215 As of 2021, the family lives in Austin, Texas. 216 In 2022, Stone sold her house in Malibu, California, for $4.425 million 217 and in 2024, she sold her Los Angeles home for $4 million. 218 Stone has said she has asthma, which she discovered after having difficulty breathing while filming Easy A. 219 Her mother was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer in 2008. 220 In 2010 Stone and her mother celebrated the remission of the cancer by getting tattoos of birds' feet, designed by Paul McCartney, a reference to the Beatles' song Blackbird, which she and her mother love. 221 In a 2024 interview with Terry Gross of NPR, Stone said of her Lutheran upbringing, "I very early on realized that religion didn't resonate for me. The sort of relationship I had to it was more of a guilt and a sort of self-judgment rather than focusing on the wonderful things that it can teach you. There's guilt around sexuality. There's guilt around your body. There's, different stories about womanhood and what it means to be a woman and to be of service to a man or to not ever be jealous or not covet and, all these things that are just sort of human and live in the shadow side. I went from religion into Jungian therapy, obviously. So learning that being complex and complicated and female was okay, that took me a while, I think, to unpack in myself." 11 In 2025, on the subject of God, she said, "If it's a he, if he even exists, I can't imagine he wouldn't be loving and generous, full of empathy and understanding. No offense to anyone who's religious, but that's what bothers me, that's the story we've been told for so long." 222 Philanthropy. Stone appeared in a Revlon campaign that promoted breast cancer awareness. 223 In 2011, She appeared in a collaborative video between Star Wars and Stand Up to Cancer to raise funds for cancer research. 224 From 2012 to 2014, she hosted the Entertainment Industry Foundation's Revlon Run/Walk, which helps fight women's cancer. 225 Following the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting, she spoke out in support for the LGBTQ community and for gun law reforms, calling the politicians seeking reforms heroes of equality. 226. She is a supporter of Planned Parenthood, and attended the 2017 Academy Awards wearing a Planned Parenthood pin on her dress. 227. 228. Stone and 3 other celebrities were present at the 2012 Nickelodeon Halo Awards, a TV special that profiled 4 teenagers who are helping and leading others. Halo. 229. She attended the 2014 Earth Hour, a worldwide movement for the planet organized by the Worldwide Fund for Nature. 230. In 2015, she was part of a fundraising event in support of the Motion Picture and Television Fund, which helps people in the film and television industries with limited or no resources. 231. A feminist. 232. She collaborated with 300 women in Hollywood to set up the Time's Up initiative to protect women from sexual harassment and discrimination in 2018. 233. In 2025, Stone signed the Film Workers for Palestine letter pledging that she would not to work with Israeli film institutions implicated in genocide and apartheid against Palestinians. 234. Acting credits and awards. Main articles, list of Emma Stone performances and list of awards and nominations received by Emma Stone. According to the review aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes and the box office site Box Office Mojo, Stone's most critically acclaimed and commercially successful films are Superbad, 2007, Zombieland, 2009, Easy A, 2010, Crazy, Stupid, Love, 2011, The Help, 2011, The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014, Birdman, 2014, La La Land, 2016, Battle of the Sexes, 2017, The Favorite, 2018, Cruella, 2021, and Poor Things, 2023. 235. 236. Stone greeting fans at the premiere of Bugonia, for which she earned her 6th and 7th Academy Award nominations. Stone has been recognized by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for the following. She has also been nominated for 5 British Academy Film Awards, BAFTA Rising Star Award, Best Supporting Actress for Birdman and The Favorite, and Best Actress in a Leading Role for La La Land and Poor Things, winning for the last 2. 53. 99. 117. Her other awards include 2 Golden Globe Awards for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical for La La Land and Poor Things. 117. 165. The Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role and the Volpe Cup for Best Actress at Venice Film Festival, both for La La Land. Rothaniel Jared Carmichael, /DRD/J Rod, born April 6, 1987, is an American comedian, actor, writer, and filmmaker. 1-2. Born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, he later moved to Los Angeles, where his career began in the early 2010s comedy club scene. Carmichael has since released 4 stand-up comedy specials on HBO, Love at the Store, 2014, 8, 2017, Rothaniel, 2022, and Don't Be Gay, 2025, the third of which won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Variety Special. He also co-created, co-wrote, produced, and starred in the semi-autobiographical NBC sitcom The Carmichael Show, 2015 to 2017. Carmichael made his feature film directorial debut when he directed, produced, and starred in the dark comedy film On the Count of Three, 2021. In 2022, he was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for guest hosting an episode of Saturday Night Live. In 2023, Carmichael hosted the 80th Golden Globe Awards and appeared in the Academy Award-winning film Poor Things. In 2024, he was the subject of the HBO documentary series, Jared Carmichael Reality Show, which had its world premiere at South by Southwest. Early life. Rothaniel Jared Carmichael was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, on April 6, 1987. 3. He has one older brother named Joe. 1. He grew up poor, which is a frequent topic in his stand-up comedy work. In 5th grade, he hosted a morning news show on his elementary school's local access channel. 4. In 2005, he graduated from Robert B. Glenn High School in Kernersville, North Carolina. 5. Career. Carmichael moved to Los Angeles at the age of 20 to pursue a stand-up comedy career, despite never having tried it before. 6. His first time doing stand-up was at an open mic night at the Comedy Store in West Hollywood. 7. Working his way up through the comedy clubs, he appeared in the New Faces Showcase at the 2011 Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal. 8. He appeared on the show The Goodwin Games, 2013, 8 and had his breakout role as an actor in the film Neighbors, 2014. 19. His first HBO stand-up comedy special, Love at the Store, 2014, was directed by Spike Lee and filmed at the Comedy Store. 710. Carmichael's second stand-up comedy special, 8, 2017, was directed by friend and fellow comedian Bo Burnham and filmed in the Grand Lodge Room of New York's Masonic Hall. 11. Carmichael next co-created, co-wrote, produced, and starred in the semi-biographical NBC sitcom The Carmichael Show, 2015 to 2017, which was well received and was notable for broaching topics including the Black Lives Matter movement, LGBT issues, gun rights, politics, and the reality of being black in America. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He also served as an executive producer for the Fox sitcom Rel, 2018 to 2019, and directed Drew Michael's stand-up comedy special Drew Michael, 2018, which was acclaimed for its unusual style. 17. Carmichael made an appearance on rapper Tyler, the Creator's album Igor, 2019, narrating the album using short phrases to find logic in the title character Igor's state of mind. 18. That same year, he was hired by Quentin Tarantino to co-write a film adaptation based on the Django/Zorro crossover comic book series. 19. He created, directed, produced, and starred in the HBO autobiographical documentaries Home Videos, 2019, and Sermon on the Mount, 2019. His feature film directorial debut, On the Count of Three, competed in the U.S. dramatic competition at the 2021 Sundance Film Festival. Carmichael directed, produced, and starred in the film. 20. His third HBO special, Rothaniel, 2022, was also directed by Burnham and earned Carmichael the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Variety Special. 21. 2 days after the release of Rothaniel, Carmichael hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time, for which he was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series. He also won the Writers Guild of America Award for Best Television Writing in a Comedy/Variety Specials for his work writing Rothaniel. 22. In 2023, Carmichael hosted the 80th Golden Globe Awards. 23. That year, he also appeared in the Academy Award-winning film Poor Things alongside Emma Stone. 24. In 2024, he starred in Jared Carmichael Reality Show, an HBO documentary series revolving around his life. 25. The series screened at South by Southwest on March 10, 2024. 26. Before being released on HBO 19 days later. 27. On May 24, 2025, his fourth special Don't Be Gay premiered on HBO's streaming service Max. Influences. His early comedic influences were George Carlin, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, and Sinbad. 28. Personal life. Carmichael lives in New York City. 29. He has discussed his relationships with both men and women in his work 3031 before coming out as gay in his comedy special Rothenil, 2022. Hanna Skagula, German, Hanna Weilat, born December 25, 1943, is a German actress and chanson singer, one best known for her work with director Rainer Werner Fassbinder. She first worked with Fassbinder in 1965 and became an active participant in the new German cinema. Skagula won the 1979 Silver Bear for Best Actress for Fassbinder's The Marriage of Maria Braun, and the 1983 Cannes Film Festival Award for Best Actress for the Marco Ferreri film The Story of Pyrrha. 2. Early life. Skagula was born in Konigshutt, later Kurzau, Poland, to German parents Antoni, née Mzyk, and Joseph Skagula. 3. Both the names Skagula, also spelled Zygula, and Mzyk are of Polish/Silesian origin. Her father, a timber merchant by profession, was drafted as an infantryman in the German army and was captured by American forces in Italy, subsequently being held as a prisoner of war until 1948. In 1945, Skagula and her mother arrived as refugees in Munich, following the expulsion of the majority German-speaking population of Konigshutt by Communist Poland. 3 Much later, in the 1960s, Skagula studied Romance languages and German studies, while taking acting lessons in Munich during her spare time. Career. Skagula with Fassbinder in 1980. Acting eventually became her focus, and she became particularly known for her film work with Rainer Werner Fassbinder. During the making of Effi Briest, 1974, an adaptation of a German novel by Theodor Fontaine, Fassbinder and Skagula fell out over divergent interpretations of the character. For another issue for Skagula was low pay, and she led a revolt against Fassbinder during the making of Effi Briest, shot in September 1972, sometime before its commercial release. His response was typically blunt: "I can't stand the sight of your face anymore. You bust my balls." 5 They did not work together again for several years until The Marriage of Maria Braun in 1978. The film was entered into the 29th Berlin International Film Festival, where she won the Silver Bear for Best Actress for her performance. 6 In 1980 she acted in Fassbinder's miniseries adaptation of Berlin Alexanderplatz. 7. Skagula starred alongside Bruno Ganz in Volker Schlundorff's Circle of Deceit, 1981, and with Isabelle Huppert in Jean-Luc Godard's Passion, 1982. She was a member of the jury at the 15th Moscow International Film Festival in 1987. 8. In the 1990s, she became a chanson singer. In Julian Lorenz's documentary film Life, Love, and Celluloid, 1998, on Fassbinder and related topics, Skagula performed several songs. Skagula appeared in the Bellatar film Werkmeister Harmonies, 2000, and in VB 51, 2002, a performance by the artist Vanessa B. Croft. 5 years later, she appeared in the film The Edge of Heaven, directed by Fatih Akin. 9 She also appeared in Rosa von Praunheim's film Fassbinder's Women, 2000. In 2007, she received the honorary award from the Antalya Golden Orange Film Festival, and in 2010 she received the honorary Golden Bear from the Berlin Film Festival. She acted in the Alexander Sokurov film Faust, 2011, and in the French drama film The Prayer, 2018, by Cedric Kahn. It was screened in the main competition section at the 68th Berlin International Film Festival. Poor Things is a 2023 film directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and written by Tony McNamara, based on the 1992 novel by Alastair Gray. A co-production between Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the United States, the film stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Ramy Youssef, Christopher Abbott, and Jared Carmichael. 6 It follows Bella Baxter, Stone, a young woman in Victorian London whose body is reanimated by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist Dr. Godwin Baxter, Dafoe. Principal photography took place in Hungary from August to December 2021. Poor Things premiered at the 80th Venice International Film Festival on September 1, 2023, where it won the Golden Lion. The film received critical acclaim, with praise for Lanthimos' direction, the screenplay, and performances, particularly Stone and Ruffalo. It was released theatrically in the United States on December 8, 2023, and in Ireland and the United Kingdom on January 12, 2024, by Searchlight Pictures. It became a box office success, grossing over $117 million worldwide on a budget of $35 million, becoming Lanthimos' highest-grossing film. 7. Poor Things was named one of the top 10 films of 2023 by the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute, and received various accolades, including 4 wins at the 96th Academy Awards, 2 at the 81st Golden Globe Awards, and 5 at the 77th British Academy Film Awards. Stone won Best Actress at each ceremony. Plot: in a retro-futurist alternative late Victorian London, 1882, the medical student Max McCandles is recruited by the mad scientist Godwin Baxter to record the behavior of a strange, nearly mute woman living in Godwin's house. Godwin reveals that her body is that of a pregnant woman who died by suicide by leaping off Tower Bridge. Godwin replaced the woman's brain with that of the fetus, giving her an infant's mind. He gave her the name Bella Baxter. As weeks pass, Bella's vocabulary improves and she exhibits childlike wonder at the world. With Godwin's encouragement, Max falls in love with Bella and proposes marriage. Bella accepts, but soon discovers masturbation and sexual pleasure, leading her to run off with Duncan Wedderburn, a debauched lawyer, to Lisbon. There, they have near constant intercourse because Bella has no understanding of anything beyond physical pleasure. A fellow hotel guest addresses her as Victoria Blessington. As Bella becomes difficult for Duncan to control, he smuggles her onto a cruise ship, where she befriends 2 passengers who open her mind to philosophy. Duncan attempts to further stunt her growth to no avail, and indulges in drinking and gambling. During a stop at Alexandria, Bella witnesses the suffering of the poor and becomes distraught. Wishing to help them, she entrusts Duncan's winnings to unscrupulous members of the crew, who falsely promise to give the money to the poor. Unable to afford the rest of the trip, Bella and Duncan are dropped off at Marseille and make their way to Paris, penniless. Seeking money and accommodation, Bella begins working at a brothel. Enraged, Duncan breaks down, and Bella abandons him. At the brothel, she comes under the tutelage of Madame Swinny and begins a relationship with fellow prostitute Toinette, who introduces her to socialism. Now terminally ill, Godwin asks Max to bring Bella to him. Max finds her after tracking down Duncan, who has been institutionalized. Back in London, Bella reconciles with Godwin and renews her plans to marry Max, but their wedding is interrupted by Duncan and General Alfie Blessington. Alfie, addressing Bella as Victoria, declares that they were married before her disappearance and that he has come to reclaim her. Bella leaves Max to learn of her past life, but is exposed to Alfie's violent and sadistic nature. Bella partially realizes that she was Victoria, and that she killed herself to escape Alfie. Alfie then confines Bella to his mansion and tells her that he plans to have her clitoris removed and impregnate her, threatening her with a gun and demanding she drink a sedative. She tosses the sedative in his face. Alfie accidentally shoots himself in the foot and passes out. Bella returns to Godwin's house and, with Max's help, transplants a goat's brain into Alfie's head. Godwin dies peacefully with Bella and Max at his side. Bella, Max, and Toinette begin a new life in Godwin's house, while Alfie happily eats grass. Cast: Emma Stone as Bella Baxter / Victoria Blessington, Mark Ruffalo as Duncan Wedderburn, Willem Dafoe as Dr. Godwin Baxter, Ramy Youssef as Max McCandles, Christopher Abbott as Alfie Blessington, Susie Bimba as Toinette, Jared Carmichael as Harry Astley, Catherine Hunter as Madame Swinney, Vicky Pepperdine as Mrs. Prim, Margaret Qualley as Felicity, Hannah Skagula as Martha von Kurtzrock, Keely Forsyth as Allison the maid, John Locke as David the butler, Kate Hanford as Kitty, Owen Good as Gerald, Damien Bonnar as father, Tom Sturton as steward, Raphael Thierry as Siva the butcher, Wayne Brett as priest, Carmen Ho as Fathu singing woman, Jerskin Fendrix as Lisbon restaurant musician. Production, development, director and co-producer Yorgos Lanthimos. Produced by Film 4 Productions, Element Pictures, and Searchlight Pictures. Development on the film began as early as 2009, when Lanthimos went to Scotland to discuss the acquisition of the rights to Poor Things with the author, Alastair Gray. He was a very lovely man, Lanthimos said. Unfortunately, he died just a couple of years before we actually made the film, but he was very special and energetic. He was 80-something when we met, and as soon as I got there, he had seen Dogtooth and said, "I had my friend put on the DVD, because I don't know how to operate these things, but I think you're very talented, young man." Lanthimos said Gray took him on a personal tour of Glasgow, where Gray showed him several places he had incorporated into the story. 9. While filming The Favourite, 2018, Lanthimos revisited the project, which he discussed with Emma Stone, who starred in that film. He began developing Poor Things more actively after the success of The Favourite. After the relative success of The Favourite, where I actually made a slightly more expensive film that was successful, people were more inclined to allow me to do whatever it is that I wanted, so I just went back to Gray's book and said, "This is what I want to do." It was a long process, but the book was always on my mind. While developing the film, Lanthimos and Stone collaborated on the short film Bleed, 2022. 10. Pre-production. Poor Things was announced in February 2021. 11. Lanthimos said that working with Stone again gave him an advantage, as they had developed a mutual trust. Stone also discussed how the process of making Poor Things was different from making The Favourite because she also acted as a producer. It was so interesting to be involved in how the film was being pieced together, from cast to department heads to what have you. Ultimately, Yorgos was the one making those decisions, but I was very involved in the process, which started during the pandemic. We were reaching out to people and casting and everything during that time, because we couldn't go anywhere. 10. Casting. Willem Dafoe entered negotiations to join the cast in March 2021. 12. In April, Ramy Youssef was in talks to join. 13. Dafoe and Youssef were confirmed to join in May, with Mark Ruffalo and Jared Carmichael also added to the cast. 14. 15. In September, Christopher Abbott was cast. 16. In November, Margaret Qualley and Susie Bimba were cast. 17. With Catherine Hunter also revealing she had a role in the film. 18. In preparation for her role, Stone took dance lessons and accidentally dyed her hair black. Lanthimos liked the contrast between the dark hair and Stone's fair complexion. 1920 Stone said she was attracted to the idea of portraying a woman reborn with a liberated mindset free from societal pressures. "It's such a fairy tale, and a metaphor clearly, this can't actually happen, but the idea that you could start anew as a woman, as this body that's already formed, and see everything for the first time and try to understand the nature of sexuality, or power, or money or choice, the ability to make choices and live by your own rules and not society's. I thought that was a really fascinating world to go into." Stone especially appreciated Bella's lack of shame. Even though Bella has obviously been through trauma in her life, it just isn't there for her now. She was the most joyous character in the world to play, because she has no shame about anything. She's new, you know? I've never had to build a character before that didn't have things that had happened to them or had been put on them by society throughout their lives. It was an extremely freeing experience to be her. 10. Youssef said that to prepare for their roles, he and Dafoe attended mortician school. Reflecting on the experimental theater games Lanthimos assigned the cast before filming, Dafoe said, "You're very patient with everyone, and everyone's patient with you. They need to be confident in what they're doing, because what we're doing is quite risky. It's not a normal film." 19. Dafoe spent 6 hours each day in the hair and makeup department, 4 hours having extensive prosthetics applied to his face at the start of the day and 2 hours to remove it at the end. 21. Discussing the male characterizations, Lanthimos acknowledged that while each male character was different and had his own motivation, they all reflected male attitudes typical of the story's Victorian setting. He said, "There are variations, I guess, but in this film, there's a general tendency to try to control Bella, even if it's done in a caring or subtle way, in the way that a parent might or that Dafoe's character Baxter does, or just being infatuated in the way that Ramy is. You know, being a nice man deep down, but still having the characteristics of a man of that era." Stone also said that the more agency Bella gets, the more she learns and grows, the more it drives these men insane. The more she has an opinion and her own wants and needs and all of that, it makes them crazy. They want her to stay the sort of pure thing. 10. Filming. Principal photography began in August 2021, primarily on sound stages at Origo Studios in Budapest, Hungary. 22 sequences in Alfie Blessington's house were shot at the Metropolitan Irvin Sabo Library in Budapest. 23 scenes set at a church in London were filmed at a church on the outskirts of Budapest. 23 filming wrapped in December 2021. 24 Poor Things is the first feature film to be partially shot on Kodak's 35mm Ektachrome color reversal motion picture film stock since its revival in 2018. 25. Influences. According to cinematographer Robbie Ryan, Francis Ford Coppola's 1992 film Bram Stoker's Dracula served as the main source of inspiration to everyone making the picture. 26 other films that served as influences were Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger's Black Narcissus, 1947, Federico Fellini's And the Ship Sails On, 1983, and several films by Roy Andersson. 27. Costumes. Some of the film's costumes in an exhibit at the Benaki Museum, Athens. Lanthimos worked closely with costume designer Holly Waddington to reflect Bella's growth and development through her wardrobe, from the more puffy silhouettes of her childlike era to the nearly corseted gown she wears at the film's climax. 28, 29, 30 Stone elaborated on Bella's growth as reflected through her costumes, noting how at the beginning of the story she dresses in more traditional clothing and dresses more bizarrely as she transforms. She said, "I loved that element of, how would Bella put clothing together with the way her mind works at this point. At the end, there are these very military-looking dresses that look like nothing you've seen Bella wear. Things are much more form-fitting and constrained, but that's because she's come to a place where she's grown and decided who she is and what she's going to do. She's not assimilating, necessarily, but there's just more structure there." 10. Music. Main article, Poor Things, soundtrack. Poor Things was the first film scored by the pop musician Jerskin Fendrix. Milan Records released the soundtrack album in conjunction with the film's release date, December 8, 2023. 2 singles, Bella and Lisbon, were released on November 14. 31. Genre. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter called Poor Things genre-defying. 5. Critics have described its genre as a sex comedy, gothic comedy, black comedy, and an absurdist comedy. 32-33 5 Some noted steampunk elements in the visual design. 34-8 35-36 It has also been described by English scholars as a work of science fiction. 37. Release and reception. Poor Things had its world premiere at the 80th Venice International Film Festival on September 1, 2023 38, and also screened at the Telluride Film Festival 39, the New York Film Festival 40, the BFI London Film Festival 41, the Busan International Film Festival 42, and the Sitges Film Festival 43. The film had a limited theatrical release by Searchlight Pictures in the United States on December 8, 2023, and began a wide release on December 22, 2023. 44. 45. It was released in Ireland and the United Kingdom on January 12, 2024. 46. It was previously scheduled to be released on September 8, 2023. 47. 48. But was delayed by the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike, taking the original release date of